Hair loss runs in my family. That's what most people say. But what does that actually mean? Does it mean that you're guaranteed to lose your hair, or that there is nothing you can do, or that your genetics have already decided your outcome? Because what I'm going to show you today might completely change how you understand your hair. My name is Djanie, and I'm an advanced hair, scalp and skin practitioner with almost 30 years experience. And today we're breaking down one of the most misunderstood causes of hair loss: genetics. Today I will be addressing not the myths, not the assumptions, but the actual biology behind it. Let me tell you about a patient of mine. He came into clinic and said, "My dad lost his hair. My grandfather lost his hair. So I know what's coming for me." He believed his hair loss was inevitable. But here's the truth. Genetics does not always mean destiny. And this is where most people misunderstand their hair. So what are genes? Your body is made up of trillions of cells. Inside each cell is a nucleus. Inside that nucleus is a DNA. DNA is your genetic blueprint. It contains instructions for growth, instructions for function, instructions for how your body behaves. This DNA is organized into chromosomes. Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, a total of 46. On these chromosomes are your genes. Your genes are what determines your hair type, your hair density, your growth patterns, and your susceptibility to hair loss. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because genes don't just switch on and off randomly. They respond to signals, and that changes everything. There are two concepts you need to understand: genetic inheritance, which is what you are born with, and gene expression, which is how those genes that you are born with express themselves and how they behave. Your genes can be influenced by hormones, environment, stress, nutrition. So even if you inherit a gene linked to hair loss, it does not mean it will fully express. For example, you may inherit sensitivity to DHT, which is the dihydrotestosterone. It's an androgen hormone, a derivative of testosterone. Testosterone is pivotal in male development, but has less favorable effects on the hair follicles. It miniaturizes hair follicles by shrinking the follicles right down, and eventually it thins the hair and causes hair loss. But if your hormones are balanced, inflammation is low, if your internal systems are stable, the impact may be reduced. Androgenetic alopecia is the most common type of genetic hair loss. It involves genetic sensitivity to dihydrotestosterone, and it also involves progressive follicle miniaturization. And lastly, pattern hair loss. This is not just about having DHT, but it's about how your genes respond to it. There is also genetic hair shaft disorders. And in that condition, you'll find that the hair structure is affected, the strength of the hair is affected, and the formation of the hair itself is also affected. These are often inherited and linked to gene mutations, either through incomplete or damages in the DNA sequencing processes. Really, the inheritance of a genetic condition is quite complex. Many hair conditions are not caused by one gene. They are influenced by multiple genes and environmental factors. So the inheritance of a genetic condition is quite complex. So now we understand you don't just inherit hair loss, you inherit the potential for it. And that potential is influenced by your body. So we've got your genes plus your hormones, plus immunity. This is where everything connects. Your genes interact with hormones, which are your DHTs, your thyroid hormones, and cortisol levels. In addition to that is your immune system, which are the inflammation responses, autoimmune responses. And then you've got the environmental factors, which is your diet, your stress levels, your lifestyle. Your genetics is the blueprint, but the body decides how the blueprint is used. In trichology, we never look at genetics in isolation. We assess family history, pattern of loss, hormonal influence, lifestyle factors, because two people with the same genetic risk can have completely different outcomes. So back to my patient. Once he understood that his genetics were a risk and not a guarantee, and that in fact his lifestyle and internal health mattered, we focused on slowing progression of his hair loss. We supported the follicular health of his hair follicles, and we started to manage his internal triggers. This was so that we can stabilize his hair loss. And so if you've been told it's just genetics, understand this: genetics loads the gun, but your body pulls the trigger. If you want more videos that explain hair loss at this level, subscribe, because I'm going to keep breaking down the science so you can finally understand your hair.